has been hauling these traps nearly all of his life. He is David Hyde, Lobster Man. David works the waters off Mount Desert Island in Maine. And for most of the year, his income is directly related to how many pounds of the coveted crustaceans he can catch. But during the summer, when the lobstering is slower and the visitors arrive, David becomes a lobster guide. For a few dollars, you can join him on his boat for a taste of the lobsterman's life.
How long does it take for, say, a pound-and-a-half lobster to be a pound and a half?
It takes 5 to 6 years for them to get to be big enough to keep. So a pound-and-a-half lobster will probably be 7 or 8 years old.
What do you get a pound now for lobsters this year?
I'm not sure of that, but I think right now they're $2.50.
The land that touches the waters David lobsters is some of the most beautiful and exclusive in all of Maine. He'll point out the former summer home of Nelson Rockefeller, which is now owned by one of the Fords. Lobstering in the front yard of the rich and famous on a warm summer day. It seems idyllic, but winter is another story.
Do you go out in January and February?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Cold.
He'll tell you about hands that painfully swell up after a day in the icy Atlantic. But there are pluses he wouldn't trade. The freedom of working when you want to, being on the sea, and knowing where to find one of nature's sideshows. When the tides are right, part of David's tour includes a look at seals, who seem as interested in you as you are in them.
And as a special treat, as we head on in after a day out with a lobster fisherman, David has taken the lobsters that were just caught, taken them down below, put them in a kettle of water, and cooked them. And friends, this is just about as fresh as you can get them.
The David Hyde lobster trip takes about 2 hours. You come away from it knowing a little more about lobsters and the legendary men who trap them. But I still had one more question.
David, what's to stop somebody from coming out here and just pulling up a lobster trap and walking off with the lobsters?
Well, it's kind of hard to do that with 2 broken arms.